You know what your employer's disciplinary policy and procedure says. If you do, that's great. If you don't, it's relatively easy to find out. And it's important to understand that it's your responsibility to read the policy, not your HR colleagues. Sure, they're there to advise you, but it's up to you to do your part and read and follow the policy and procedure. Hi, I'm Dawn H. Jones, your HR Wise Guide. I'll be the first to say HR policies are not the most riveting read. I mean, who wants to read the disciplinary policy, which can seem full of punitive stuff anyway? And you may think, I don't intend to do anything but my job. And honestly, that's the intent of most people. But I've advised on cases where an individual was not involved in the actual act of misconduct, but witnessed it. And the reason why they became subject to a disciplinary process is because they either failed to report what they saw to their manager or they didn't report it quickly enough. Trust me, no one was more surprised or outraged than they were. However, once they read the disciplinary policy and procedure, they saw that no matter how aggrieved they were, their employer had followed their processes. And I want to help you read your employer's disciplinary policy and procedure so you can follow them, work in peace, and avoid becoming subject to a process. So what is a policy and what is a procedure? Well, a policy generally outlines the aims, application, and general principles of how your employer will deal with disciplinary process, while the procedure sets out how to address an employee's conduct or performance. Now, as I just mentioned at the start of the video, it's relatively easy to find out what your employer's disciplinary policy and procedure says. However, as a wise person said, what's easy to do doesn't always get done. But what is in it for you? Well, if you read the policy and procedure, you can take steps to ensure that you work in accordance with it. All it takes is 1 to 2 hours of your time. Now, it may not be the most riveting read, but it beats becoming subject to a formal process lasting for weeks or months. See what an initial 1 to 2 hour investment can help you avoid: clarity over confusion, peace over problems. So let's do a quick test to test how much you know about your employer's disciplinary procedure, what it says, so we can find out how much you don't know. That way you can proactively take steps to fill in gaps in your knowledge. Now, I've included the questions I'm about to pose to you and others in a free download, which you can access by clicking the link in the description below. Okay, let's go. What date is the most current version of your employer's disciplinary policy and procedure? Right? Is your employer's disciplinary policy and procedure included in one document or 2 documents? What happens if there is an allegation of misconduct? Next question, are you entitled to be accompanied at a disciplinary investigation meeting? How long will an investigation take? What happens if you refuse to take part in the process? What are the levels of disciplinary sanction if the allegations are proven? Do you have a right to appeal against a sanction? And on and on. Now, I don't want you to scare you, but I do want you to be proactively informed. You are more likely to avoid a formal process, or at least be equipped to deal with one. Now, your free download also includes tips to help you and your team learn about policy and process knowledge quickly and practically. And you can do that by setting a work objective to read the disciplinary policy and procedure and attend any available training as part of your work objectives, which you can agree with your manager. And if you want to supercharge your progress, you can put sickness policy and procedure on your team agenda as a standing item for 3 to 4 meetings. Colleagues can briefly present different sections, allowing the team to ask questions and allowing room for discussions afterwards. You can also invite a HR colleague to your team meeting to give you a brief overview of the policy. It's a great way to embed knowledge, learn from colleagues, and build relationships with HR colleagues. Last thing, ensure that you read any updates to the policy and procedure promptly. So what does your employer's disciplinary policy and procedure say? Find out proactively so you can work with due care and attention and avoid the disciplinary process and a world of hurt that often accompanies it. If you're an organisation that would like to book a policy and process awareness workshop, you can do that via the link in the description below. If you're an individual who would like HR advice, please click the link below for our services. And don't forget to grab your quiz download, which includes the quiz and tips for gaining policy knowledge. There, you can click on the link in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, be HR wise. Bye-bye.